Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Smart Stack. My name is Massimo, and today what I'm going to be showing you is an app that I've been using, honestly, for just about a year, so I know it pretty well. It's called Reclaim.ai, formerly just Reclaim. Now it's Reclaim.ai by Dropbox. In today's video, I'm going to be walking through what the tool is, how it works, the benefits, the disadvantages, some of the quirks with it. I've seen it come a long way, and they're really ironing a lot of stuff out. So, as always, please like, comment, subscribe. We love hearing from you guys. Here's the subscribe button. Hit it, and I'll see you in the video. All right, here we are, Reclaim.ai. So as I mentioned, I've been around with this tool for just about 2 years or a year and a half. They recently, maybe about 6 months ago, got bought by Dropbox, which has its advantages and disadvantages. Honestly, so far, I've seen no change for that, like no disadvantages. But you can see on the homepage here, this is what they brand themselves as. And there's a lot of tools out there like this. It's an AI calendar for work and life. And the reason why I looked at something like this is, honestly, I was kind of struggling with scheduling my day. I didn't want to invest in an assistant per se. And so I thought, is there something out there with this whole AI craze? And so in essence, what it does, you can see here, is it'll actually sync up with your calendar. And so predominantly it uses Gmail. I don't even think they have their Outlook sync yet. So that's something to keep in mind, but it'll sync with your calendar. It has task management, as you can see, so you can fire tasks in from a bunch of different applications. I'll show you like Asana and Rike and all these other ones, Todoist. You can fire them in here and it will actually schedule them out based on priority, based on energy, based on time of day that you want to do it, and based on your calendar. So you can see here, it'll sync your calendar from Google and it'll put the actual meeting in there. And if that meeting gets slotted in when there were 3 or 4 other tasks to do, it'll move the tasks around. So it's a really neat tool like that. They also have habit tracking, buffer times if you need to travel, time tracking if you want to kind of see how you're doing. You can block off whole days and it'll move things around, and it syncs with a lot of your tools. So it's honestly, I love this tool. It's really good. I've kind of taken it to the next level in many ways. I'll show you what I mean shortly. But you can see here, everything it has. Pricing wise, one of the reasons I went to it, it's very, very affordable. I'm on the starter plan, so it's whatever that is. I have 1 seat, so that's $100 a year. I actually came from another app called Motion. I think they actually have discounts, or they used to. Yeah, switching provider. So if you're leaving Clockwise, Motion, or Calendly, they actually give you a 20% discount. They make you show your receipt. I thought that was a little savage, but also like cool. They believe in their product, right? And like I said, even after they exited or got acquired, honestly, I've only seen positives. They've really started bringing out a lot of business and enterprise stuff. These two didn't exist when I bought them. So that's obviously where Dropbox is trying to make their money back on this acquisition. So yeah, anyways, let's get into it. So here we go. Here is Reclaim. So you can see first and foremost, it shows all of your calendar information. And so I went to a week where I don't have a lot. I'm actually traveling this week. And so I just have 1 meeting on Thursday. And so you can see a couple things here. One, it's a calendar view. You can look at this week. You can look at the month. You can actually customize it here. You can pull this out and see all of the tasks. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but it's what you think. It's a calendar, right? There are some settings that you can customize here. Do you want to see 7 days in advance, 9 days, only the weekdays, etc.? But this is kind of the bread and butter of how you see the application. And very easily, you can hammer in a new task. So you can just hit C on your keyboard, or you can actually hit new task. And so this is a great tool here. So like follow up with lead. You could say, oh, it asks you, okay, how long is this going to take you? Do you want to split it up? I say, no, I want it during my working hours, which I'll show you. And then you can say, okay, I want it to happen after the 12th. So after today, but it has to be due by Monday. And we hit create. And so now this is when its smart scheduling will come in and it'll actually slot it in. So you could see here that it threw it in at 8 a.m. because I've got nothing going on then. And I've said my work hours are from 7:30 to 5. So let's talk about some of the settings and setting all of this up because it's really exciting, but you do have to do some setup at first. So if you click here and you go to settings, there's a bunch of stuff here. So number one, calendars. Like I said, Google is like the big one that they integrate with. I don't think they integrate with Outlook yet. If you were to hit add an, oh, they do actually. So they integrate with the two big kahunas, right? So you should be fine. If you use Yahoo, that's your fault. Yeah, use one of these. You can connect many Google calendars, which I thought was cool. A lot of people have many, a business, a personal, or whatever. Like the key here is, since this is scheduling out tasks and to-do items and all that fun stuff, you are going to want to keep track of all the calendars that you have so there's no conflict. So that's kind of step one that you want to do. Step two, you want to customize your hours. So when you go to schedule a task, as you saw, you actually have to choose what hours you want to do them in. And that's here. And so you may say, okay, I have work hours to do work things and I have personal hours to do personal things. And maybe I just have, I don't know, fun hours to do fun things. And so when you look at work hours here, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can customize the day and time, how early and late you work on certain days. And you choose the calendar it works with. Personal hours, same thing. So I kind of said like it's Saturday, Sunday, and then after work hours. So some of the things I will actually schedule in personal hours. So that's kind of the second step you want to do, set your time zone. I don't think you need to go deeper than work and personal hours, but I mean, that's up to you. Account, don't need. This is an interesting one. Buffers. This is actually new. This wasn't here when I bought the tool. It's kind of what it sounds like. So if you need travel time before events, you can turn that on and it just defaults it, right? Same thing with tasks. If you want a task break after you finish one, you want a 15-minute break, you can turn that on. So it's just so you don't get back to back. Really nice feature. Colors, whatever. This is something you want to customize just so you can visually see things. Integrations. Let's talk about this for a minute. I would highly recommend integrating with some of these apps. Zoom is a very good one to integrate with. I'm a big Zoom guy. The other ones are probably pretty self-explanatory. Google add-on. This allows you to kind of add things from your Google email, calendar, etc. Raycast, don't really need to talk about. Google Tasks. I actually do this because I'll talk about it at the end, but I have a very intense integration with this tool, and this was the only way I could get it to work. Slack, Todoist. This is a to-do list management app. Linear is an app that a lot of developers use. Jira as well. Asana as well. ClickUp is just kind of a project management tool, and Teams is coming soon. So, I mean, my main point here is you can see the vibe of who they're going for, kind of like small teams, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, whatever, developers that are trying to keep their day together. Now, ever since they got bought by Dropbox, they are really pushing more of the Microsoft products. I think Dropbox has a lot of enterprise customers, and so they're trying to build that out, which is great. A lot of the world uses Microsoft Teams and Outlook, etc. So make sure you come back here, integrate it, but it's not necessary. Right? Once you integrate your calendar, the bulk of what you need integrated is done. But keep in mind, you can come back here. Okay. This is a pretty important page to customize. So start of the day, right? And then, so automatically lock your smart meetings, habits, tasks to prevent your schedule from changing on short notice. Locked events won't reschedule. So you'll see this when I'm showing you. We'll talk about that more. What intervals someone can book. And then let me just see. I mean, these are things that you can play with once you get in here. I actually did end up playing with this a little bit. I just told it to prioritizes tasks with due dates coming up, deprioritize meetings and habits with lower than critical priority. So just in my work day, I was like, okay, there are tasks that are like due really soon. I want to prioritize those versus some of this other stuff. So, I mean, that's totally up to you. But I honestly didn't start fiddling with this till I had been using it for like 6 months. So. Now tasks. This is also important. So you can choose like defaults here. So what is your default high priority, default duration of a task? Are you going to allow yourself to split a task into 10, 20, 30-minute intervals? Let's say a task is an hour. You can actually split it up into 2 30-minute chunks. So there are a lot of settings here, but this is kind of the... I didn't end up customizing a lot of this till I got into it. Notifications, if you want to be notified if something's coming up soon, it'll give you an audible ping. And then team, we're not going to talk about that. So let's go to planner again. So here we are, planner. Let's go to next week. Here we go. Okay, here's the planner. Great. Now the next step is let's talk about priorities. So these are things that you can actually create and they stay like this. And you can do all kinds of different filters here. You can do columns, medium, large. You can actually do all kinds of things. But the cool thing here is they have this idea of priorities, which are things that basically tasks based on priorities. But it can also be habits, as you see. It can also be scheduling links. It can be all kinds of things. And so in the settings of the application, I told it to make all of my tasks high priority, right? So here's the one I made. So some people prefer looking at their tasks like this instead of in the planner. And they prefer actually seeing it in a Kanban view, everything, right? So you can collapse things, whatnot. But what I thought was really cool in this app, I personally don't love this view. Sometimes I would come to it. But if you open up a task, here it is. You can actually start the task. So it actually has like a timer, which is really great. You could just complete it. You can send it to up next, meaning, okay, let's say you're not using the calendar feature and you just want to do it next. You can do that. You can change the priority, or you can change the due date, snooze it, etc. So there's a lot you can do with the task, but what I found really interesting is this view, as I keep talking about, where you can actually see the task here and move it around. So you can actually click and drag it. Now you see it's locked here. So once you drag it once, it doesn't want you to move it again. It's basically looking at everything and seeing what other tasks you have to do throughout the week. We also have habits here, which I thought was really cool. So you can create habits that repeat. So if I create a new habit here, you could see, okay, whatever. And you could put a priority. You could say if it's solo work or personal, add notes, add location, and then you tell it where you want it to schedule. And so if I go back to my habits here, you'll see there's exercise, strategic planning. That only happens on the 26th day of every month, morning catch up, etc. So habits are a really cool way of getting into your calendar. So if I go back to my week here, you'll see here are my habits: morning catch up, check in with Cloven accounts, exercise, afternoon catch up. So they auto get slotted in. Now, the cool piece is, let's say I have to do a task here. So I have to get this done. And it's going to start at 4:30. And it's like critical. So it'll actually move my priority or my afternoon catch up for that day. And right now it's thinking, as you can see in the top right, and it moved it till 4:45. So this is the power of this tool, right? And so now it's actually moving things around based on how my day goes. And the way they pitch this, the way Reclaim pitches this is, it's kind of like a virtual assistant, right? The assistant would do this for you. You would call them and say, oh, I've got this going on, and they would move things around. That is what I love about this. So now tasks, you can also have a task board like this. You could just have open tasks. You can see what's up next. If you send something into up next, you could see it'll go up here. You do it, you complete it, great. Normal task board. On your planner, it's also moving around too, based on the day of the week that you're at, right? Now, let's talk about some of the scheduling features. So smart meetings. This is a cool feature. This is basically the ability to create a meeting. So if I hit new smart meeting, and I say it's a team meeting, and then you can actually add all the attendees that are needed, and you choose the times. You say it's once a week, and basically this will schedule a meeting. So everyone has to use Reclaim, or at least have their calendar integrated. This will schedule a meeting based on everyone's availability. And you know how annoying that is to like try to find an availability between 5 people. Even if you're in the same company, it's a nightmare. So that's what this is. And you can create them and it'll just auto make the meeting smart depending on the day of the week and depending on everyone's availability, which is great. Scheduling links is probably the last really cool piece here. So scheduling links, kind of what they sound like. So now that Reclaim is managing your calendar, right? And it's moving things around. It would be hard for you to like come in here, find the meeting, slot it in, etc. Well, the obvious progression is to create a scheduling link. So that's what they did. So scheduling links are kind of what you think. You can have different priorities. You can create your own. And when you look at this link, if I copy it, and so here's an example. It'll actually slot things out for you. And you can see here that it's not preferred at 4:45 or 4:30. It's not there, right? Because I put that critical task. Now, if I said it's a 30-minute meeting, it's going to change that completely and not let me book till 4, or it'll stop me at 4 because I had that task, that critical task here. Right here. So it's only letting me book from 4 to 4:30 because I have that critical task to get done. So you can see how this starts really becoming like an assistant, right? And so you can send out these links just like Calendly. You can put them in your signature, whatever. And now it'll start slotting people in based off your tasks. And if you're thinking about this, it's like, okay, so now if I have buffer time around tasks and I have this scheduling link, now I don't even have to think. People can book time with me and it's not going to screw up my day. There's nothing worse than getting a meeting with someone and you're like scrambling, trying to figure out what the heck is going on, right? So this is probably the last cool piece. With this, they have team links so you can schedule more than one person. Round robin, more for like a sales-esque thing where it'll look at everyone's calendar and book them in. Hidden links, this is if you just want to send one person a link that you don't want to have all the time. And so all of this is included for $8 a month, which is bananas to me. It's a really good price. I mean, after using it for a year, probably the most annoying part, honestly, they don't have a mobile app. And that might sound lame. A lot of their competitors do, but it's just like, come on. Like I'm trying to, where this comes in is like, I'm thinking on my own, I'm just like, oh, I have to do that thing, schedule. Oh, frig, I'm in my car. What do I do? And I don't have a mobile app. So they have this like kind of janky way of creating a browser shortcut on your phone to click and open up this on your phone, on the web browser. So they got to figure that out. I'm not sure why they haven't yet. But beyond that, I haven't found a disadvantage. Like I love this tool. And honestly, it's showing you what, I mean, they say AI this and AI that. And I mean, it's not the most complex AI, I don't think, but they've done it really well where it does actually move things around. And when you get 50, 30, 60, whatever tasks in here, it's really moving things around and it's making sure if you said you needed to do one by tomorrow and it's not done, it'll actually slot it in. So it's really good at moving things around. The unique part about what I did that I was mentioning is since it integrates with all these tools, I actually have another AI, Fathom, follow me into meetings. It takes notes. It takes action items. It then fires them into Google Tasks, which then fires them into here. And then I have all my tasks slotted out right after a meeting. It's really cool. I love it. But in any case, check this tool out. They've really done it well. They've really kept it simple. They've kept it affordable. If they figure out a mobile app, I would say they're going toe-to-toe with Motion. That's probably their biggest competitor. As always, please like, comment, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something, and see you in the next one.